Come on in, have a cup of coffee, grab a chair. Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia, and we're going to talk about who knows what today. Well, we're actually going to talk about all the things that I learned today, or actually yesterday, because I'm recording it the day after. The first thing I learned is most of us have pain of some sort, right? Well, I moan and groan. Of course, I'm here by myself. I don't moan and groan in front of other people. But I walk across the floor and I'm limping. And when I go to the grocery store, I see my reflection in the door as you're coming in. And I'm walking like an old lady. And it hurts. Well, guess what? I never take anything for pain. I try to just suck it up or ignore it, or I'm basically, like I said in my video yesterday, I march to my own drummer. You know, I just do things my way. So I was convinced years ago when I was working as a nurse that Tylenol didn't work, that it was ineffective. And I have had that in my mindset. And what do they give you if you have pain? Tylenol. Well, guess what? Every time I've used it, because I was getting desperate, it works. Well, I used it yesterday because I could hardly walk across the floor. So it worked. It's not like a miracle, no. It doesn't wipe out all the pain. It definitely dulls it and it takes the edge off. So that's one thing I've learned. If you're sucking up the pain and you're not taking any pain medication because you don't need to, or you don't want to, or you don't think it works anyway, try it. You might like it. I'm going to take it more often now. I had to take some in the middle of the night last night. And oh, well, I guess I'll just have to realize that it does work sometimes. I was writing cards out, and I ran out of stamps. Now, that's a fine how do you do. Do you realize how expensive stamps are? I went to the post office, and no, I didn't check. Well, I did check my post office box. I was going to lie to you. I wasn't really going to lie. I was going to just say I didn't check my post office book, but I did. So I learned a lesson that I didn't have enough stamps to complete my mission. And I also learned a lesson to stop nagging on my friend Ann about the things she does or doesn't do. Because in the Apron and Bibs video, I said, my friend Ann made all these bibs, and she has extra ones. She keeps telling me she's going to give me one or two, because I keep telling her I need a bib. So the only thing in the post office box, no cards, no ads, but there was this package. And in this package was a bib. Can you see it? That Ann made, and it goes right up to my neck. I can tie it, because things, if you put a towel, it goes to the side, the food, or it goes right in the 1 inch that's not covered up. So now I finally shamed her into sending me a bib. It's about time. So what I learned was just shame her and she'll do whatever I want. Now, this one is really crazy. I told you I was very unique, that I'm different. Now, I want to know Write in the comments, I discovered this year, and most recently yesterday, I became aware of it because of what it caused. I became aware that during the night, I chew the inside of my cheeks. I do. What's happened is my cheeks go in right under my teeth when I'm sleeping. I guess when my face... Well, I asked a dentist about it one time because I was noticing that I was doing that, like my cheeks would get between my teeth. So I actually have ridges in my mouth that are caused, I think this is scar tissue caused by biting the inside of my cheeks. Now, I started to tell you that I asked a dentist once, and he said, elderly people, their facial muscles droop. And so that's why. They blame everything on being old. He didn't know what the heck he was talking about. I don't know what it is. But I'm doing it right now. Right there. And it's bad for you. Now, I know my husband had cancer of the tongue. I have a very dear friend who had cancer of the tongue. She had to have half of her tongue removed. And my ex-boyfriend had cancer of the tongue. Now, how odd is that I know all these people? So I'm kind of paranoid about cancer of the mouth. It's not a good thing. So make sure when you go to the dentist, if you're fortunate enough to be able to afford to go to the dentist, have them check your mouth for anything unusual. Now, I have gone to the dentist at least 4 times since I discovered that I was doing this. The first time I asked the dentist, and the rest of the time I've had the hygienist. Not one person has noticed these things. It's like a whole line of scar on each side. So you do have to be your own advocate. I'm gonna make a fuss the next time I go. I told you I wasn't gonna eat, and now I'm doing it, and I'm talking with my mouth full. So be careful with your mouth. Most people in their sleep, if they do anything in their sleep, they snore. Well, I do that too. I would like to record the snoring. Don't you think that would be fun? I mean, you know what other people sound like when they snore. I don't have that opportunity now because I'm not with anybody sleeping in my bed to know if I'm snoring or not. But I always thought it would be fun to record yourself snoring. Anyway, what else today? The other thing that I do when I'm sleeping is I'm drooling. I'm drooling. I must be creating on so much juice from biting my mouth that I start to drool. But I woke up yesterday and my mouth was wet and my pillow was wet. And I'm saying, what is this? What is happening to me? But I don't think I'm the only one that drools. I don't drool in public or, during the day. But have you ever? Well, you probably haven't had that much opportunity, but people that don't use a pillow protector on their pillow, maybe you go to someone else's house or I used to see it all the time because I was in people's homes and sometimes I changed their pillowcase or something. And there's all these spots all over the pillow. Those are drool spots and spit spots. Just saying. Then I remembered that I like to paint. Well, go figure, I haven't painted in a long time, and my excuse is, Well, you guys have one of my excuses, but the other one is that my studio is right behind me. I know you still can't see the cards. It's because I'm still working on them. And I've had a lot of good suggestions about stringing a clothesline, using a clothes rack, just displaying the newest ones. Well, what if I don't get any? And then what? How do I display it? I checked the post office box yesterday. There was nothing there except that stuff from Ann. So it's a possibility that people are sick of sending cards. So anyway, I'm going to figure that out. I think I have something in mind. And I am going to just plaster them on there. And you'll be able to see them. And what I have in mind will obstruct my studio area so I can spread out all my paints. How's that? Maybe I'll start doing watercolor instruction videos. I'm a terrible watercolorist. But I have fun, and it's a good hobby to have. Have any of you tried? I talk about hobbies all the time, but I don't know if any of you have hobbies or you do things that you enjoy. One woman sent me a picture that she was a photographer, and she showed me a picture of what she had taken. Then other people make cards, and they make beautiful cards, and they have fun. It's fun doing it. And I have all the supplies for any craft you want to do, because you talk about it, I've tried it, except a Cricut. Now, do any of you have a Cricut? Do you know how to use it? Because my daughter has one. I don't think she uses it. I was thinking of calling her and hinting, asking her if she used it and what she was doing with it. And then I was hoping that she'd say, Mom, why don't you just take it and try it out for a while? And then I'll have a Cricut. But I don't know if I'd use it. So if you have a Cricut, you know, it's one of the, I don't even know what it is, but I want one, because that's another thing about me. I want everything that's like in. I'm telling you, it's not a good thing. Then I discovered I was reading, and I discovered that the book that I was reading was a series. I finished one series, and then I started another series, and then I finished that one. And then I went on to order another one, and I'm saying, why are you doing this? Have you ever read a series of books? They're all actually very similar, especially by the same author. They're all very similar. The other thing that I noticed was the character in it is a young teenage girl. And I loved the books. I enjoyed the books. But enough is enough. I need something now. Now I've been reading fantasies. Now I'm going to read something serious again. I don't know what, but if you have any ideas, please put them in the comments, because I'm on a mission for some new books. One of the other things that came to my mind yesterday is how blessed I am to have this channel. You guys all put up with that banner going across yesterday. Did I already talk about this? Well, I'm going to talk about it again, because I don't remember if I talked about it. And if I didn't talk about it, I want to talk about it. I cannot say I'm sorry, but I apologize wholeheartedly for the fact that you had to watch that video. I thought that that video was going to be it. I thought it was going to be another viral video. And instead, I probably lost 40 subscribers. I don't know. I'm only kidding. I haven't looked, because I don't want to look, because I saw some of the comments, and I will be getting to them. But everybody was talking about, what is that? Well, that was a mistake I made. I thought it was only on the first clip, and that you just see it once and that'd be it. I didn't know they were going to show it through the whole thing You could have had a seizure watching that. So I will never do that again. That was me experimenting. And as I said to my dear friend Debbie, who sent me an email and said, do you know what's going on with your video? I'm still learning. After 160 videos, who would think that I would mess up that bad? But I did. I appreciate everyone who watched it and suffered through it. But I hope you got the message. Maybe I'll do it over again, call it something else, and embellish it a little bit, and then it'll be something different. Because I think the concept of that was really good. Let your quirks, your uniqueness be your superpower. That is powerful. That is powerful. And when I read that article that Elaine sent, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name. I think it's Elaine. But she sent me that article. She sent me tons of stuff. But when I read it, I said, my goodness, this is me. I can't believe that I'm reading this article. And that, as you see, as I'm doing this channel, I do it my way. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It never ceases to amaze me. I'm still talking about how fortunate I am to have this channel. The people in this channel, in this community, are fabulous. They're talking to each other. They're sharing each other's problems, praying for each other, whatever, and encouraging me. And I like that, and it's important, and thank you. I discovered that you can change your mind whenever you want. I wanted to go out to the post office to buy stamps. Then I said, no, wait until Monday. Then I said, oh, just go. Then I said, no, I don't really want to go. So I went, and guess what? I had a nice time. I went to Dollar Tree. That was why I never go out, because I spend money. Now I have to show you what I got at Dollar Tree, because despite the fact that everything's only $1.25, I spent like $25. I got more of these. Whoops. I got more of these ices because I like these. They're kind of a nice little snack. Now, I didn't need this. Look at this. It's a little box. Why did I buy this? I have no need for this, but I thought it was really cute, so I bought it. I bought a new kitchen brush because mine is moldy. So, and I can't seem to get it out. I've soaked it in bleach and it just doesn't work. So, I got that. I got tons of pens, which is the original reason that I went in there, because I like their pens, but I go through them very fast. Then I got two packages of Milky Way, one Milky Way pudding and one Snickers. These are delicious, if you're interested. What else? Some candy. I never go without getting candy. I got some double-sided tape for my crafting, and I got some more lights. So, I learned a lesson. Don't listen to yourself, talking yourself into going to Dollar Tree, and then talking yourself into buying these things that you don't need. I have about 1,000 solar lights But they had them right on the display, the front thing, so, for an impulse buy, it was a special of the month, the week. And I bought them even though they were the silver ones, and I prefer the black or the bronze colored ones. So I have to find an abstract part of my hair to put them in, because I also like everything to match. So what is wrong with me? So then I get home, and I learned to always zipper your purse. Now, let me see. This is what I use for a purse. It's small, has everything I need. My car keys are on here, everything. But I did not zip it. And every single thing in this purse fell out in my driveway when I was letting Quinny out of the car. And it was raining out. So I had to bring her in the house, and then I had to go outside and salvage all my stuff off the floor. So the moral of the story is always zipper or close your purse or your wallet, or we have all that little stuff. And don't go to Dollar Tree. The other thing I learned yesterday is don't wash your hair when it rains. Or don't wash your hair because it rains every time. That would be a good way to look at it. We don't be going around with greasy hair. Get organized. I was looking for something. And I consider myself fairly organized. But I'll tell you, since I started this YouTube channel and I'm writing my thoughts down, I have, this is another thing that I buy at Dollar Tree, is notebooks. For $1, what the heck? But I have probably about 6 or 7, and they're all working ones, and they all have different things in them. The problem is they're not labeled, and they're not collated in any way, so I can never find what it is that I'm looking for that I know that I have. So I learned that I need to be more organized, and I need to declutter. Maybe I should take one notebook, put all the other ones away, just work on that notebook, and then get rid of it. I learned that getting up at 6 a.m. is way too early for me. That's what happened to me yesterday. I got up at 6:30. That's like 2 hours before I usually get up. And I felt really good when I got up. And I sat down and I do a prayer that I watch on YouTube, that I participate in. And I fell asleep in the middle of it. So that tells me 6:30 is not a good time for me. And then I was talking to myself, you should just go back to bed. You should take a nap. Well, I don't really like naps. And why would you take a nap if you just got up? These are all the things that go through my mind. So I ended up taking a shower, and then I went out. I forced myself to go out. And the other thing that I learned was that most of the subs on this channel are older or elderly people. There are some young people. They're learning from us. And that's really a good thing. I've gotten, in my cards, I've gotten a couple from somebody one that was 44, I think, and then one that was in her 50s. So, well, she's getting old, the 50-year-old one. It'll happen so fast she won't even know what happened to her. And the other thing is I learned to pick my own flowers from my own garden. Isn't that beautiful? These are yellow peonies. The reason I chose to pick them was because it was raining out. And these blossoms and petals are very delicate, and they'll just get destroyed in the rain. This one is a hydrangea that my daughter gave me for Mother's Day that I have not planted yet, but it's blossoming beautifully. Isn't it pretty? And then, what else have I got? Well, I got some white flowers. I'm not sure what they are. And the green is the peony leaves. So I decided, pick your own bouquet. You can pick dandelions, pick whatever you want, but pick it. The reason I did that, well, I didn't want to get the blossoms ruined. But I usually, in the summer, I stop by the roadside and pick up daisies. And I always have a bouquet in my bathroom. But I haven't been able to find any. There's hardly any out and about. So anyway, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bring a friend. What is different about me? Tell me what's different about me in the comments. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.